What's up, guys? Welcome back to ManCave Collectibles. Coming at you today with a brand new figure that we're going to take a look at. We're going to review it. It is the Ultra Magnus Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy line. This is a brand new figure that I just found on one of my most recent toy hunts. I've actually not really seen this guy popping up anywhere yet. I had him pre-ordered at multiple locations. You can actually pre-order this guy now at Big Bad Toy Store. Head over to Big Bad Toy Store for all your toy needs, whether it's Hasbro, Mafex, Hot Toys, and all the other major brands. They've got it along with $4 flat rate shipping. Click the link in the description to see what BBTS can do to fill that need you have in your collection. So click the link in my description to go and get your pre-order in for this guy. That also helps the channel out, so I'll be greatly appreciative. Let's go ahead and jump right into the box for this guy. As we've kind of seen with these Kingdom packaging, they've really kind of reduced the window size, which I'm okay with. We can see kind of the upper torso of this guy's face. Looks really nice. I'm not against this. I'm not an inbox collector. So if you're an inbox collector, let me know what you think of the new packaging here for the Kingdom figures and the Earthrise figures as they've kind of begun to reduce, those windows. We got some really amazing promotional artwork here of both his robot mode and his vehicle mode. So those look really nice. Spinning on around to the side, obviously we can continue to see that robot mode. We do show this as a leader class figure. On the back side, we have additional product images here of him in his 3 different modes. So you kind of have him all armored up as the Ultra Magnus that we typically know him as, then just the all white version, and then we have him in his vehicle mode with trailer. On this side of the packaging, we just have some of that Kingdom artwork where we can actually see some of the Beast Wars figures as well as our regular like Earthrise and Kingdom figures here on the side. Let's go ahead and crack this guy out of his packaging and see what we got. All right, guys, so we got Ultra Magnus out of the packaging, and we're going to go ahead and start off in his truck and trailer mode. This is a really cool looking mode. I really like the kind of the G1 look of this. If you go back and look at the original G1 action figure, no, it's not exact, but I think it pays homage to it enough that I like the way it looks. I still think these 2 figures here in their truck modes are probably 2 of my favorite truck modes, probably Optimus being my favorite vehicle mode of any Transformer. And then Ultra Magnus not far behind. I've just always liked the look of that big bulky trailer that he pulls behind him. But I want to go ahead and take a look at it this way. So I really set these up so you guys can kind of see the size comparison on these 2. Ultra Magnus definitely has the size advantage here on Optimus Prime, but not by much. If we go ahead and put our tape on this guy, we look at right at about 11 inches in length here for him. And Optimus is right at just a hair under 10, about 9 3/4 inches in length. As far as their height, the front of Optimus cab is about 2.5 inches, and we're about 2 3/4 inches in height on the cab there of Ultra Magnus. So I really like the way they've scaled them. Ultra Magnus to me should be bigger than Optimus Prime, and Hasbro has done just that for us. So as far as the way this looks, or kind of the way it goes together. So obviously you've got the cab here of Ultra Magnus. Up front, there are a couple little tabs that the back of the trailer tab into on his sides. Let me break this loose and I'll show you. Okay, and then right here on this side, there's another tab that you tab out. So you've got these 2 little tabs here on his legs, and these tabs actually tab into the side of the trailer right here. There's a tab here and a tab there. So yeah, all that does is just tabs into his legs. I'll show you how that looks. You basically just take, these are his shoulders. They come together, and that pegs in. He basically backs into the trailer like so. And then this comes up and around. And as I discussed with you earlier, those pegs just peg into those peg holes. Just like that. Let's see. Well, you gotta be able to see. It's a little tougher doing it on camera, but there you go. Just pegs in like that. So that's basically the connection for the trailer with Ultra Magnus, body. So it's nice enough. This part in here is a little bit messy looking where we've got the arms, that type of thing. You got his shoulder rockets, his gun. There are locations here for those to go on the trailers. Back here in the back, you can see that, this is, his feet in his kind of Ultra Magnus mode. And if you're not familiar with the Ultra Magnus from this line, basically his armor, what really gives him that big bulky look, it comes off, and I'll show how that goes back on him. But that's what comprises the trailer, is basically the armor. There you go. Let's kind of move Optimus up, kind of give you a front profile shot here of these guys. You can kind of see them that way as well. Just looks really tough side by side like that. I just love the way that looks. Even as a kid, I was always a fan of tractor trailers for some reason. I always wanted to be a truck driver. So maybe that was kind of played a role in my love of Transformers and Optimus Prime. But you can kind of see how those stack up. We'll put them this way, and you can see there. So that's about end to end here. And you can just see how Ultra Magnus kind of has an inch, 3/4 of an inch on Optimus Prime there as far as his length. And then there from the back. All right, guys, so there you go with a little bit of size comparison and kind of a view of what he looks like in his truck mode. Let's go ahead and break him down. We'll go ahead and get the white version of Ultra Magnus first, and then we'll go ahead and add all the armor on as well. All right, guys, here's Ultra Magnus in his all-white version. So this looks really nice. I'll show you something neat whenever we go to do the next transformation to kind of move him into his armored up version. But this belt here actually matches the color there on his face mask. That does spin and swap. So we'll take a look at that. We'll get that spun around and swapped when we move into the next mode. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll bring in our Optimus Prime figure just so you can kind of see where he stacks up. And let's go ahead and we'll also bring in a Bumblebee figure just so you guys can kind of get a feel for where he stands as far as just in his normal mode. He's almost identical in size to our Optimus Prime. So if we put a measurement on him, Optimus Prime stands right at about 6 3/4 inches, same for Ultra Magnus, and then our Bumblebee figure here standing just right about 4 inches. So just give you a little bit better of a feel for, kind of what he, looks like from a size standpoint. But you can see here, he just looks really nice. We'll bring him in, got his logo here on the side, logo on the back. You can see kind of how that truck mode, he's got a backpack, but it's minimal. I would have liked to have seen the stacks have some coloration to them, kind of like what we got here with Optimus Prime. Didn't get that, but that's okay. The ugly serial numbers or whatever that is they put on them there. Overall, I really love this figure, but where I really love this figure is once we get him armored up. There you go. One last look here at the face on this guy. Really well done, I think. All right. Let's go ahead and get his armor built for him. All right, guys, so we got him disassembled. So now what we're going to do is actually add the armor onto the Ultra Magnus body. All right, guys, we got Ultra Magnus assembled. And if you couldn't tell, I'm not a very good transformer of Transformers. I do a lot of reviews. Transformers are not my strong suit from a transformation standpoint. And I've only transformed this guy at one time, so I was doing a lot of that off memory. And there's a lot to it because he's got a lot of pieces, a lot of parts, a lot of different things have to go here and there. One thing to remember when you're doing your transformation, and I actually missed it when I was doing it, this portion has to go back down. So you slide the torso forward. That allows this portion to go down, and then his upper armor, the shoulder armor and chest armor, is able to slide on. Also, if you could see, if you saw in there, this will fold down, this will spin. So you could actually use whichever side or whichever color you want. But obviously that is the side that you would want to use for Ultra Magnus. So there he is. Let's go ahead and we'll take some close-ups here just so you guys can kind of see that face and what that looks like. Very, very nice. I love the G1 aesthetic here to this guy. I had the Siege version. I wish I had him to kind of do a comparison to him. I'll try to throw up an image here of the Siege version just so you guys can kind of see the difference in them. I think the Siege version just had obviously the battle damage. The color scheme is a little bit different. I think the figure itself is going to be the same figure, but I really like what they did here, and I'm glad this one is going to be my Ultra Magnus over the Siege version. Not that one is better than the other, it's just my personal preference from an aesthetic standpoint. But yeah, spinning on around, you can see he's just bulky. He's very, very big and bulky. We'll do a size comparison here shortly with a couple other figures. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. How will you be posing your Ultra Magnus? Let's bring out a few other figures. All right, guys, so here's Ultra Magnus for you to just kind of get a feel for how he stacks up against two of the other bigger figures in the line, which is the Megatron from Earthrise, as well as the Optimus Prime from Earthrise. And then we got our Bumblebee Netflix figure there, which I still think is one of the better Bumblebees that we've probably ever gotten from Hasbro. But yeah, there you go. There's the Ultra Magnus. We got our transformations in, which is one thing I've always kind of said I don't want to do on my channel. So forgive me for kind of some of the bumbling and fumbling during the transformation process. But it's fun nonetheless. I enjoy transforming them. I just hate doing it on camera because it's just not smooth. I see so many YouTube guys that are really fantastic at being able to transform them, and they can probably do it without the directions. But anyways, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Drop your comments down below what you think of this figure. Have you found him? I feel like I found him pretty early and got this out pretty quick. I haven't seen a whole lot of guys finding him. I'm a toy hunter kind of by trade on this channel, so I kind of keep up with what's out there, and this was the first time we've ever seen this guy. So you know, if you got him up for pre-order, different things like that, Big Bad Toy Store has him up for pre-order right now. So if you're needing him, go out there and use that link in my description to pre-order this guy, so you make sure you secure one. And then lastly, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, consider subscribing. Would love to have you as part of the ManCave Collectibles team. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time.